So Seb, I'm introducing you to my very good friend, Zach Ziegler. Zach's one of us. He's one of the good guys in the business.
Hey, nice to meet you, man. How are you?
Nice to meet you too. I'm doing all right.
It's good. Yeah. He's loving his new room.
What's that?
Yeah.
That's your room?
Well, this is
makeshift room. I mean, if I actually turned the camera around and you saw the amount of wires and stuff that I spent all day trying to actually hook up a room. I have our wheel that I was trying to put together. It's a mess right now.
That's where we're at. Where we're at.
This is it. Wait, you're on the East Coast, right?
Yeah, I'm in New York. Yeah.
Okay. Wait, should I call you like Don told me to call you Seb? I didn't feel right calling you that because I'm just meeting you, so I don't know what to call you. What should I call you?
If we ever see each other physically again, you can call me Seb.
Good deal.
Don't worry. We can keep the Sebastian. So yeah, maybe in 2023.
Right,
when we can leave, exactly.
When we actually meet,
How you dealing with it? I mean, how's everyone dealing with it right now? Like, is it like I feel like I'm so busy right now that I keep moving and but I have to readjust to this new lifestyle and this new schedule. I think the part that I'm messing up with right now is that like I'm waking up and I'm just going and it's just like appointments and calls and all this stuff and I'm starting to go a little like
Dude, you're lucky then.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not healthy because I'm like yelling at my kids and like flipping out and like doing all this stuff.
But you're not a guy who sits still anyway, are you? I don't see you as a guy who just can sit around and do nothing.
No, I can't. How you guys doing with it?
I'll let Sebastian go or Mr. Stan. I don't know what I'm supposed to
call him. No, there's no Mr. Man for sure. No, it's interesting. It's definitely challenging, but I think it could be reflective too. I don't know. I go back and forth,
Now
this is important. FaceTime's important. That's for sure.
It is. Actually, this is the only way I'm able to communicate. Listen, I love hanging out with my daughter's 15 months and my wife, but I need an outlet every once in a while.
Well, that's the funny thing. I was going to ask Dawn that actually. I was talking to a friend. I was like, because I'm alone, right? So I'm like, I'm quarantining alone. So I go like, is it harder for me alone or is it harder for the somebody out there who's got to share like the suddenly 24/7 you've got a partner. Like, I mean, you always do, but is that I can't tell which ones. I bet you they both have their pros and cons.
I mean, listen, I'm around my family. I mean, I was commenting to my wife that it's been amazing to wake up every morning without an alarm clock. And that's the part of my day that's a little bit more like zen. Like I just wake up and I brush my teeth and I might hop in the shower and I go downstairs and I start like preparing breakfast and I check emails. And the next thing you know, it's like 45 minutes later, I'm fortunate enough to be able to get a workout in this room. And it's nice. And then after that, it's like, all right, I'm starting my day at a normal hour, where opposed to my normal life, it's like I'm out of the house 2-3 hours before my family's even up. So everyone gets that they're just in a different environment right now. And this is taking some getting used to.
It's always going to be that we're always going to remember this. Like, I can't even imagine being a kid during this thing. Cause one day you're going to be like, hey, remember that, like we can look back and be like, oh yeah, I can tell you in 96 when we had like a week off of school because of a snowstorm. And now they're going to be like, hey, by the way, do you remember that 5 months that whatever?
We were quarantined?
Yeah. It's crazy.
I said, it is weird. And it's funny because I was asking a handful of people like what they can even compare this to. And there really isn't much, we've never been told, the world has never been told just to stay inside for this long from what I could tell. And it's really weird, but at the same time, I'm trying to, and I know Don is too, because we talked about it, just trying to find ways to stay positive or stay upbeat and be active. And training is one way I'm doing it, but it's also like just looking at maybe the way I was doing things and maybe not, just not enjoying certain things. Just a lot of this time I got to spend with my daughter has been really amazing. Like I just spent, way more time with her in the past week and a half than I had during the week. ever. So it really has opened my eyes to maybe like reprioritize some things. So
there was a meme going around, which was, really kind of put me in my place, which was like, your grandparents went to war, and you're being asked to sit on a couch, like, get the fuck with it, And then I talked to a couple of friends who, are in the workforce, like cops out there sleeping in their garages, working 20 hours a day, nurses coming home, not being able to hold their children because they're afraid they're going to contaminate their families, then going back to work. And it's like, you hear that stuff and it blows my mind because it makes me feel like I'm just like, I have like such privilege to be able to sit around here, while these people are beating themselves. But what makes me insane is like seeing that the beaches in fucking Miami are still flooding with these fucking idiots. And it's dude, they're dumb fucks. Yep. And it pisses me off. And it really makes me insane because that's actually the problem right there. And so anyway, we got to remember, like,
I agree.
Our grandparents and parents have survived way worse, and we can do our part here,
Totally.
I totally agree with that. Why is it that the other day there was a park in New York City where it was beautiful out and everyone's laying out and everyone's just like it's a vacation, or looking at the beaches down in Florida and everyone's down there. Like, I think coming out of this, people are definitely going to realize and start thinking differently from a quality of life standpoint. Because I spoke to a bunch of clients that are down in Florida, and they're like, I'm going to think a little bit differently on how I'm living my life. I'm like, well, how so? Like, I got down here and, I've immediately lost weight. My stress levels feel better. And my back that we've been working on is finally better. And I can do things now physically I haven't been able to do in 10 years. And it just shows what stress and that rat race does to the human body. But I also can't help but to look at this level of irresponsibility by people who are, all throwing parties on boats down in Miami. And they said the other day that there were so many water patrolmen, police officers that couldn't even break up this party of like 2,000 people on the water. And I'm like, this is part of the problem.
We have to just kind of be mindful and like learn from it and continue to stay positive out there. I think there are, there's a lot of news that are it's very tough. Like, I can only do maybe an hour of news now because it's so anxiety driven, driving. But I think, you have to just make sure you do research and pay attention to, like I said, some of the people that are out there really battling this thing, in the hospitals and on the streets. And you have to sort of just be grateful about that and just do it for them. Do it.
Yeah, it's I think you're right, Don, that it's really not, I'm not sure who said it, but it's not that big of a thing to stay home. Like, really, like that's sacrificing staying home. Yeah. It sucks that, people listen, I think it's terrible. People are not able to work right now, and it's a struggle, but everybody's struggling. And you said it, there's people on the front lines out there trying to keep us healthy. I'm just trying to figure out how to help them. Like,
I think it's about awareness. Honestly, it's awareness, and we have to continue to maybe we're going to be broken records, but say the same thing over and over again. It's like, be mindful, be aware of other people, older people who are vulnerable. And Don, I mean, I think it's interesting because I'm actually curious about how you're, obviously I follow you. Obviously I pay attention to all your workouts and what you're doing at home. And it's actually very helpful for me because I can just kind of follow that. And I know I need some kind of physical exercise. How do we keep active in our environments? And it's funny because it's like, it's almost like how do prisoners stay active? It's like do your 200, 300 push-ups a day, do those sit-ups, do those squats. I mean, I keep looking around to see if I can find something to do pull-ups off of. But, all that stuff I think is important and contributes,
I think people now have to start, like, this room behind me right now literally had 2 couches in it a few days ago. And
really?
Oh yeah, no. I either, I had to, like, what was it, a week or so ago when we were closing up Drive, I had to go into Drive and pick up a bunch of stuff, and which I did, those power blocks, and and then Perform Better mailed me some stuff that I was able to lay down, and I kind of built myself a nice gym. I got like dumbbells up to 90s. Like it's enough right now. I've got a whole kettlebell rack. Look, like right over here, there's like a full kettlebell rack. So like, but now I think it's the point where I would recommend even to you, like, call up Perform Better, have them like mail you some stuff. Like,
yeah, I mean, I know. Yeah, you got it.
Like, that's doing it. Like, it's just like get a suspension trainer, book that in your door jam. I know you have kettlebells. We might need to get you a few bands, like this. Like, we just don't know. We don't know how long this is going to be. And the thing with me is, it's less about like losing the physicality portion of it, like the physical gains. This is the mental. Like, because when we're done, it's like, what do we have to do?
That's it.
It's like, bring the day at us. I feel like I can accomplish anything, but if I don't have that, I'm in trouble. So I'm urging people now, like, we can do bodyweight stuff. Either find a good bodyweight program or get some pieces of equipment and let's put something together for you. And that's what I think this is all about.
Yeah, well, the stuff you've been putting online, though, I think is very helpful, because that at least, like, it's like you're still mobilizing your core and your body, and it's stuff that you could, like the lunges and, kind of anything holding your core, or the RDLs, even like with your body weight and stuff. I just think, but yeah, if people can get out there and put on some music for an hour and just find a corner somewhere, hopefully, that I think that's going to help a little bit.
Well, that actually, that's something Don and I spoke about prior to this call was, what were 2 songs that you would put on your quarantine playlist? What would they be?
Oh man, I want to hear Don's. But by the way, I definitely dance here by myself. I mean, it's happening. I'm like watching across the street. There's a neighbor. I'm like, I don't even know. I don't care anymore at this point.
Doesn't matter.
No, I was saying 2 songs that recently I was listening to was Usher. I think it's "Get Down in This Club." I'm gonna butcher it. Did I get it wrong? No, Make Love in This Club. Foreigner. I mean, can't go wrong there.
I've been listening to the Purple Rain album a lot. Not the song, but the actual album with the whole like "Let's Go Crazy" and "When Doves Cry," "Maybe I'm a Star," and like that whole album. I would choose something off of that, and I would choose probably "From Whom the Bell Tolls" from Metallica.
Oh my God, that's just, dude. I can't even imagine being stuck with you in a house for 3 months. I mean, can you imagine? Like, it would be. I would laugh so hard.
Oh my God, dude, we would have a great time.
That's why. I have one question for Sebastian though. So, because Don, Don's got his family. It's a full house. I have my wife and kid. You're alone. Are you going stir crazy at all? Or
I have my imaginary people.
Yeah.
Stop it, Joseph. Seriously, put it down. No, it's interesting. I feel like I get a lot of stuff done. Like I said, I had to find a routine, and that's honestly what I recommend to everybody. My therapist said, no, he did. He was like, hey, like keep doing normal shit, like get dressed. I mean, I didn't today, but sort of things that you would do regularly, but you do need a routine, right? I mean, there's ways to do it. It's just, and then take a moment and I'll give you a hard one, like taking like an hour off of your phone,
What have you been doing about food? That I was curious about with you, because I know you always take your nutrition pretty seriously. I think you have probably one of the better outlooks when it comes to nutrition, because you eat very healthy, but once in a while, if there's something there, you'll attack it. You don't beat yourself up over it.
I mean, it's definitely, I think when it comes to fitness and diet, you know, the discipline aspect, I mean, you know, he's probably one of the most disciplined people I've ever met, right? So it's like, you know, it always helps a little bit in perspective when you're not doing things alone, or when you have someone kind of that you're looking up to and you want to, you know, you want to sort of fall in line with that, and that's easier. But it's true. I actually do want to hear how you're doing right now with food too, because it is a little tougher. Like, I got to tell you, like, especially now with writing and so on, like, I find that I'm actually not, you know, like, I'll have tea and like coffee, and then I'm writing, and suddenly I look and it's like 1 p.m. and I haven't even like actually eaten something. And then, yeah, I mean, I'm cooking stuff for the first time ever. Like, I have a bunch of chicken breasts I'm gonna basically grill in a pan later with olive oil and then some mustard, and it's gonna be what it is. But like,
delicious. Yeah.
I mean, like, you know, definitely a lot of peanut butter. I mean, that bananas, by the way, because potassium. It's like, Don, like, it's very, you know, I was curious. Here's a health question, actually. Okay. Even though I haven't been working out, like, my body's actually tight because when I wake up, because I think I'm actually not as active as I was. And so it's like everything's kind of, and so I've been eating a lot of bananas. I don't know if anybody else has encountered that, like, at home, but I've been eating a lot of potassium to sort of keep that, and doing a lot of stretching. Yeah, I mean, pasta's an easy go-to, but those are the carbs. I mean, what do we do, Don?
Yeah, but you know what? Like, I'm definitely probably having something back every day.
Listen,
or
what's the
every day.
six-pack mean anyway? No one's going to fucking see it.
Yeah, you can just draw it on. Or
no, but that's what I'm talking about. No, that's the wild thing, though, because I actually feel like my body composition is improving, which is the weirdest thing. So, like, my training right now, I'm getting my lifts in. It's a little bit more like, I'm definitely hitting a little bit more volume right now per exercise, because, like, if you have a set of dumbbells that go to 90, like, fine, like today I did like 10 sets of bench on like 1 minute rest, and then I did overhead press in 10 sets. So I'm limiting my number of exercises, but just increasing the volume. But I'm noticing I'm eating well all day, but like last night, last night was extreme. Last night we brought in pizza. We like had pizza delivery, which we were just
That's
like,
awesome.
you know, it was like the first time we called delivery, and I was just like, I can't cook chicken or steak or anything else anymore. We have a fridge that we just ordered pizza delivery. We just had to screw it, leave it on the doorstep.
Are you, Sebastian? I got a question too. This is from someone on our team was curious about this, and it kind of, I feel weird asking it because it kind of doesn't matter right now compared to what's going on. But it's like, you know, they were looking forward to, you have a show coming out. They're like, does it impact that? Does he think about that? Does he care about that? Like, and I feel like, you know, how are you dealing with it? How are you prioritizing? Or are you just not? Are you just not even thinking about it? Do you not even worry about it?
I mean, you know, look, it's tough. I think there's so many, you hear all these other crazy stories out there, and, you know, so it's not really at the forefront of my mind. I mean, I think, you know, we were lucky to get far enough. I mean, we haven't finished, you know, the plan is to go back whenever we can, whenever that might be, to finish. You know, whenever we can turn this thing around and, you know, people can get back together, we can pick back up. But I just don't know at this point.
What do you think happens? Do you think as a society we start slowing down after this? Do you think this is like almost a little bit of a reality check? Because I can't tell you how many people I've spoken to who actually are like, their bodies are feeling better, or they're reassessing things in their life. So I wonder, like, what do you think? And I want to get Zach's opinion.
I don't think it's going to slow down for a lot of people. I think it'll be short-lived, and that's unfortunate. I'd like to take these the lessons that I'm learning, and I hope that I can apply them. But it is difficult. Like, we live in a really competitive society. I mean, every one of us is in a very competitive industry. Look, we got into this. We weren't trying to, like, you know, become billionaires here. We're trying to just reach as many people as we can, to try to talk to as many people as we can, and spread the word that you can live better, feel better, move better. It's really that simple. But
okay, this sucks. This fucking sucks for
Right.
everybody. This is awful. And as soon as we can fucking figure this out, we should, you know.
Right.
But like, if you're gonna have a day to yourself, try to find maybe one or two things to hang on to that actually could be okay, you know. And I think we need to just kind of think about the things we take for granted, you know. Like, we got to reflect a little bit.
Yeah,
I totally agree with that.
I do too.
Totally agree with that. So, Seb, what's the right before we end up wrapping up on this thing? What have your workouts been like?
Well, so I got stairs where I am, which is good. So I actually do. I'll run out of my staircase and do like, I'll just go up and down like the stairs like 20 times a day. You know, I try to keep that going. Each time I add another round of it. And then it's a lot of push-ups, it's planks, you know. I got those 2 kettlebells, so that's kind of good. It's like press-ups a little bit, swings. I mean, it's just trying to keep active. I mean, keeping size right now, I don't know. Pretty tough.
I don't know. I know. I am. I don't know if you saw it, but I am teaching a 3:30 live class every day, where it's a full body. So every day.
What, on Instagram?
Just go on. It's 3:30 every day. It's on my IG.
At Don Saladino.
Man, come on. Yeah,
It's
my Instagram. So why don't you should pop in one day. And
no, I will. I used to doing like a live session, like kind of thing.
100%. I actually just did one right before we came on this. So it's literally 20 minutes long. And you're going to be familiar with all the movements, but it's kind of a little bit of an eye-opener on how much, you know, variability there is out there. I mean, we have a tendency to forget, but jump on tomorrow or the next day, whatever.
We got less than a minute,
totally.
Don.
I know. We got less than a minute. Seb, I love you, man.
Hey,
man. Thanks for coming on.
Dude, thank you so much, man. It's nice to chat with you guys, and hang in there, you know. Let's talk soon.
Seb, love you, brother. Thanks, Seb. Love you, brother. Stay safe, guys. At Z-Raz.
Till next
time. I am Sebastian Stan. That's it.
I am Sebastian Stan. This is Reps at Home.
Bye-bye, guys.